I had driven Highway 395 before. Anyone who's taken that road knows it isn't just a highway, it's a spine running along the eastern edge of California, pressed up against deserts, ghost towns, dry lakes, and mountains that look like they're watching you. People call it scenic. They don't mention how quiet it gets after dark. This trip was supposed to be simple. A solo road trip north from Ridgecrest, camera gear in the trunk, playlist downloaded, no deadlines. I wanted empty roads and star-filled skies. Highway 395 promised all of that. What it didn't promise was company. I left just before sunset. The sky was painted orange and bruised purple, the Sierra Nevada silhouettes growing darker by the mile. Cell service vanished somewhere south of Olancha, just like everyone warns you it will. At first, the silence felt peaceful. Then it felt deliberate. By the time night settled in, the road was a thin ribbon of headlights cutting through endless black. No towns, no cars, no radio signal, just static that hissed like breathing if I turned the volume too high. That's when I noticed the mileage signs weren't changing. I passed a marker that read, Lone Pine, 27 miles. 10 minutes later, I passed it again. Same scratches on the post, same bullet hole near the bottom. I slowed down, heart thudding. Maybe I'd looped somehow. That didn't make sense. 395 runs straight. I checked my GPS. No signal. Just a frozen blue dot. I told myself it was fatigue, highway hypnosis. The desert plays tricks on your eyes at night. Then my headlights caught something standing on the shoulder. I slammed the brakes. The car skidded slightly before stopping. A woman stood there, facing away from the road. Long dress, pale fabric moving gently in the wind. Her hair hung down her back, dark and unkempt. She didn't turn when I stopped. I rolled down the window an inch. "Hey, are you okay?" Nothing. I told myself not to get out. Every instinct screamed that, but leaving someone stranded out here felt wrong. I opened the door. The moment my foot hit the pavement, the air changed. It felt heavier, colder, like stepping into a shadow that didn't belong to anything. "Miss?" I called. She turned slowly. Her face was wrong. Not injured, not decayed. Just blank. Her eyes were there, but they didn't reflect the headlights. They looked like deep water at night. No surface, no bottom. She opened her mouth. The sound that came out wasn't a voice. It was wind. Dry, rattling wind that smelled like dust and old bones. I staggered back, slammed the door, and hit the gas. The car lurched forward, engine screaming. I didn't look in the mirror until I was sure I'd put distance between us. When I did, the road behind me was empty. No woman, no footprints, no sign I'd stopped at all. 10 minutes later, the radio crackled to life. Not music, a man's voice, low and distorted, like it was coming through a tunnel. "You shouldn't have stopped." I punched the power button. Silence. My hands were shaking now. I told myself it was adrenaline, imagination, exhaustion. That's when the headlights picked up a building ahead. A gas station. Lights on, windows glowing. Relief washed over me so hard I laughed. The sign read, Owens Valley Service. I pulled in fast, tires crunching over gravel. The place looked old, 1960s old, but well-kept. Too well-kept for somewhere this isolated. Inside, a single fluorescent light buzzed. A man stood behind the counter. Gray hair, sunken eyes, skin like dried leather. "You saw her," he said before I could speak. My stomach dropped. Who? on the road. I didn't answer. He nodded slowly. Most do. Few stop. Fewer make it past her. What is she? I asked. He didn't respond right away. Instead, he slid a dusty guest book across the counter. Names, he said. Dates. Look at the gaps. I flipped through it. Entries from the 1950s, 60s, 70s. Then nothing. Then one from last year. Then mine. Already written. My name. My handwriting. Dated tomorrow. I backed away. This isn't funny. He sighed. Highway 395 doesn't forget. People vanish out here. Car wrecks, wrong turns, whole families. Some stay. Stay where? He looked past me, out the window, toward the road. On the shoulder, in the dark, waiting for someone else to notice them. The lights flickered. When they came back on, I was alone. The gas station was gone. Just cracked asphalt and desert brush under my headlights. I drove, faster than I should have, faster than felt safe. The road twisted now, something it shouldn't have. Mountains closed in on both sides. The sky disappeared. Then I saw the cars. Dozens of them. Wrecked, burned, rolled into ditches, some so old they'd rusted into the ground. And standing beside them, people. Men, women, children. All facing the road. All watching me pass. Their mouths moved in unison. No sound reached me, but I knew what they were saying. Stop. I didn't. The road dropped suddenly, steep and winding. My brakes screamed. The headlights caught a sign at the bottom. Welcome to Manzanar. But Manzanar wasn't supposed to look like this. Barracks stood intact, lights glowed inside. Shadows moved behind thin walls. I drove through the center of it, heart hammering. Every building had its doors open. Every doorway was empty. Then something stepped into the road. A man in an old uniform, military, 1940s. He raised his hand, and behind him, the camp filled with people. Hundreds. They didn't look angry. They looked tired. The car stalled. Silence swallowed everything. The man leaned close to my window. People think this road is lonely. It isn't. I turned the key. The engine roared back to life. When I looked up again, the camp was gone. Just desert. Just road. Just Highway 395 stretching ahead like nothing had happened. I didn't stop again. I drove until dawn broke over the mountains, pale and unreal. When I finally reached a town with people, with noise, with coffee shops and gas stations that stayed where they belonged, I thought I was safe. Until I checked my camera footage. Hours of driving. Empty road. Except for one frame. A woman standing in the headlights, facing the camera, smiling. And behind her, written into the asphalt like a scar, "See you next time." I sold the car. I avoid that highway. But sometimes, late at night, when everything is quiet, my radio turns on by itself, and a voice whispers, "You shouldn't have stopped."